Hello. Just looking at Mr. Solarface there. There we go. I'll get out of the, there you go. Better, as you can see me. I thought if I sit there, it's like a laser beam in my eye, you know. I'm just having a quick slurpee. Oh, hot. Glorious though. Okay, I was going to talk about, Christmas. It's not really about Christmas, it's about obscenity or something that I think is obscene and disgusting really. I put it onto my Facebook a day ago now. There's a store called John Lewis and they've spent £7 million on their advert for Christmas, which I think is an obscene amount of money really. You know, it's got this, I don't know what they call it, computer graphics, and there's this bear or elephant or whatever it is that scares a child. I just think it's pathetic really. You know, they could have paid me 25 quid. I would have dressed up as a bear and made some bear sounding noises, scaring children or whatever it is, not sure what they do. It's just wrong in my view. Now, obviously it's not just John Lewis. There will be, or there probably is, because I don't own a television, so I don't know. There probably will be the Argos advert, because there always is every Christmas. There's always about three. Oh, Coca-Cola is another one. An obscene amount of money these large companies spend, buy our rubbish, because we've got millions and millions and millions of pounds. And when you add up just those three alone, you're looking at millions upon millions of pounds have been spent. People will be eating from food banks this Christmas. It puts things into perspective, doesn't it? People are still homeless in this country. And we've got the likes of the church, we've got the likes of the Queen, and then big organisations and big companies on millions and millions of pounds, billions in some cases. I just had a shower and I'm sure I got an eyelash in my eye somewhere. Eyelashes are to prevent, as I've said before, to prevent stuff from coming into your eyes. But the only thing I ever get in my eyes is a bloody eyelash. It's a very, very poor design. So it's not a rant, it's not a moan, it's just an observation that I just feel that it's wrong. Whilst we've got kids suffering, families will be eating out of food banks and not being able to afford very much at all for their children. We've got the elderly that have got to question themselves, do I eat or shall I heat? And these big corporations, big companies are spending untold millions, perhaps billions, on what is essentially one day. It's the day, the only day of the year that families pretend to care about each other. That's what I think. Which may be a cynical view, but we've all got ideas, opinions, thoughts. So I feel that's wrong. I feel that in the current climate where everybody's a bit skint, where people are struggling a bit, and where there are people that are really suffering, it is just wrong. It really is. In my view, it's obscene. It's disgusting. In my view. Now this John Lewis, this store, you're going to probably tell me there's one in every high street. I've never seen a John Lewis store. As far as I'm aware, I've never ever seen or been into a John Lewis store. I don't go shopping, as you know. I don't really go to cities and towns anyway, so I wouldn't know. So I'm probably talking rubbish, but I didn't even know they were that big. And then they put this advert on, and if you go onto YouTube and you have a look at their rubbish advert, and the amount of people saying, oh great, Christmas has now started, thank you John Lewis. It's November, it's the middle of November, and apparently it's now Christmas. We've got sunshine, we got a t-shirt, and we got Mr. Solarface. The grass is green, there is no snow or ice. Maybe I should walk around in my Santa's hat if I had one. What an idiot I would look in November. I've got no respect for these great big companies and organisations. None. They must know that people are suffering, people are struggling. They must know there's homeless people. They must know that. And yet they rub it in your face, really, I think. And of course the other thing is like utility companies that have made billions and billions of pounds over a few years, you know. That thing, that Margaret Thatcher thing called Theresa May, to get her into power, one of the things she said is she's going to put a cap on utilities. They're not going to be able to charge you anymore. And then when she got into power, she said, no, they can do what they like, you know, I'm not bothered. Of course she's not bothered. I just get fed up with the whole thing, really, you know, the whole way that society is. It's pay, pay, pay. You know, there's somebody out there with their hand in your pocket trying to grab your last pound, you know. It's a very, very unfair world, and it's getting worse. I would have thought in my lifetime that things would have got easier, people would have come together a little bit more, and there would have been a bit of a plateau sort of a thing, but it's not. There really is a huge, huge divide. When I was a kid, I was aware there was a class system, upper, middle and lower class we used to call it, and that kind of dissipated a little bit, and I think it's back in full force now. There is no middle class, there's upper class and there's lower class, and I think there's underclass as well, when you consider homeless people or those that are living in basically a bloody icebox they can't afford to put the heating on. It's an awful situation, isn't it, really? And we're culpable because we do allow this, you know, we kind of accept this by embracing things, you know, the Coca-Cola advert, it used to be the Woolies advert, didn't it, when I was a kid, the John Lewis, whoever they are, Argos, Tesco, Tesco's and Morrison's, like, they're going to spend billions of pounds advertising. They've already started. They've got seasonal aisles, right? Christmas seasonal aisles. I went shopping, I think it's about 7 or 8 days ago. I went shopping and there's a seasonal aisle in Tesco, and it's full of Christmas stuff, absolutely full of Christmas stuff. And when you go down, neck ache, when you go down the aisle, there's mince pies, right? And the sell-by date is the 29th of November. Mince pies. So, you know, they're elongating that season, the Christmas season, which the only reason why they're doing it is not to benefit their customers in any way. It's just to make more money for that store or for that corporation, for that company. That's all it is, you know. I would love things to go back to the old ways, really. You know, I'd like it to be a time where people either don't bother giving gifts, they give their time, they give their advice, they go and visit somebody on Christmas Day or whatever. Or I would like to see people perhaps do some good work for a charity on the day, or if they want to give a little gift, maybe a handmade gift or a token gift, just something. Not all about money, consumerism, corporations earning millions out of it. It's never going to sit comfortably with me. And I know my views may differ from yours, and that's absolutely fine. I mean, that's what being a human being is all about. So some people will say, well, it's the best day of the year. It's the time that I'm happiest. And if that's true, then great for you. Good for you. You know, and I would say embrace it then. Carry on doing whatever you're doing. You know, if it means that much to you, then carry on doing what you're doing. I always think, every year, I always think about the homeless, I think about the elderly, I think about those that have lost their partners or loved ones this year and how much they're going to struggle, and then they're going to be ripped off just warming up their house and trying to buy a few little knickknacks for Christmas. They're going to be ripped off by these companies that can spend £7 million on an advert. You know, how long's the advert? 30 seconds, 1 minute? I don't know. 7 million. It's just obscene in my view. So it's not a rant, it's not a moan. Well, it is a moan. I'm English, you know. It's more an observation that the observation is simply this. It's become acceptable to us to walk past homeless people and go into a store called John Lewis and pay for overpriced goods that are probably made by some 5-year-old boy in China. I don't even know what they sell, but do you know what I mean? And that has become who we are now as human beings, as a society, if we're a society. Was it, which dickhead was it? Oh, bloody wanky moonface, weren't it? What's his name? David Cameron. He said, we're all in it together. What an untrue statement that is. This millionaire, this multi-millionaire, with his fingers in lots of different companies, earning millions per year, said, we're all in it together. Really? The world has turned on its arse, I think, really, you know. Where people once cared, it's got very insular. How much have I got in my bank? You know, you can have people dying with however much they've managed to con people out of, or how much they've managed to save, and they're going to be a very rich corpse. Great. That's marvellous. You know, it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, really. And how can you be happy living like that? How can that be? It just doesn't... Well, I'm at a loss for words, you know. I think it's obscene, that's what I'm saying, you know. Maybe it shouldn't be allowed. And who allows it? I suppose people that watch television, or people that go into these big stores and buy this crap. So, as I say, we're culpable, we are responsible in some way for allowing all this stuff, you know. When the Christmas advert, the John Lewis Christmas advert, popped up on my YouTube, I thumbed it down. Okay, it's not a lot, but everybody should thumb it down, and everybody should say, 7 million quid, you could have done some good with this. Maybe they feel they are doing good, because they are doing good. By spending 7 million, they know, and they've worked it out all year. They've upped their prices and upped their prices and upped their prices, slowly, 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 up, up, up. And then at Christmas they take 5% off. So you pay 30% more than you really would in real life back 6 months ago. So they've worked it all out, and it's very beneficial for them and their stockholders, shareholders, whatever you want to call them. You know, the CEO of the company, the head staff, they're going to make millions on the back of this advert that I feel is just wrong. Anyway, that's my thought for today, really. I'm going to finish some Slurpee and we're going to get out in, well, underneath Mr. Solarface. He's very strong today. Chilly out there, obviously, because we're in November, but pop a jacket on and we'll be fine. The other thing I've got to say is, because it is Christmas coming up, is my art. Please, if you win a piece of my art, can you pay as soon as possible so that I can go and post it as soon as possible? Because obviously what will happen soon is the post will start being a bit slow, because yeah, people do send Christmas cards, they do send parcels, etc. through the post, and things are then held up a little bit. I was going to go today. Today is actually Monday. I've no idea what the date is. 15th, 16th, 13th, something like that. So today is Monday. I was going to go this morning because my art always finishes on a Sunday evening. I can't go today because I sold 3 pieces. 2 people have paid. So thank you to Brent and Kathy. You're here, ready to go. But I'm waiting for the 3rd person to pay, and I have sent that person a message and an invoice. And they haven't paid yet, so hopefully they're going to pay today, and perhaps I can walk up there later today. But if not, that puts me back by a day, or possibly even 2 more days, I don't know. But yeah, if you can try and pay, you know, fairly quickly, then I can post them fairly quickly. You will then get them fairly quickly before it gets stuck in what will be the Christmas post, you know. And we're only in November, so we've got a little bit of time yet, but you know, things will start getting heavier slowly and surely, and especially being pumped full of Coca-Cola and Woolies and Tesco's and John Lewis adverts. People will now start buying and posting and stuff like that, so it will start getting busy. Okay, take care then. Have a lovely Christmas, or lovely Hanukkah, lovely Yule, whatever you celebrate. Nothing, everything, or one of those. Be safe, be warm, stay warm, be warm, and be well.